Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is MTG Ghoul Dude, and today we're going to be picking it back up on the Digging of the Past series of Archers. Starting off with Sehana Starfletcher. It's actually a pretty cool arrow you got there, bud. For 2 and a green, it's a 1/3 Elf Druid Archer, and it comes into play. You choose a color, and it can tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool, and it can block as though it had flying. Free Wind Equinaut. I'm so confused on how to pronounce that word. But for 2 and a white, it's a 2/2 with flying, and as long as it is enchanted, it has tap. It deals 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. If you can find a way to give it Death Touch, that is great. The Avent Healer. For 1 and 2 white, it's a 1/2, and you can tap it, deal 1 damage to attacking or blocking creature, and you can tap 1 to prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to target a creature or player this turn. Huh. Here we get to the time-shifted Thorn-Willed Archer, who has been reprinted a bunch of times. But for 1 and a green, it is a 2/1 with Reach and Death Touch. So this is one of those ones to get the Thornbite Staff to where you can just keep tapping it. Brigid, Hero of Kinsbale. For 2 and 2 white, it's a 2/3 with First Strike. You can tap it, deal 2 damage to each attacking or blocking creature target player controls. Wow, that is awesome. That's really good. I actually like that. That would probably be the best one for a Basilisk Collar. Harpoon Sniper. For 2 and a white, it's a 2/2 Merfolk Archer. For 1 white, you can tap it and deal X damage to target attacking or blocking creature, where X is the number of Merfolk you control. Not a lot of Merfolk, white Merfolk, that are archers if you were trying to build a strictly archer theme. Jagged Scar Archers. For 2 and 2 green, it's a star powered, and its toughness and power are each equal to the number of elves you control. And you can tap it, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying. So the more elves, which there are a lot of archer elves, the better. Great Bow Doyen. For 4 and a green, it's a 2/4. Other archer creatures you control get +1/+1. So this is your anthem type for your archer decks. Whenever an archer you control deals damage to a creature, that archer deals that much damage to that creature's controller. That's really good too. That's probably one of the other MVPs of the archer deck. Lias Alena Bowmaster. For 2 and a green, it's a 2/2 with Reach, and whenever you play an elf spell, you may have it deal 2 damage to target creature. Yep, this is just a white-green archer elf deck. Yep, pretty much. Dawnray Archer. For 2 and a blue, this is probably one of our first of a good few. No, this is only our second blue archer. If you look at all the ones that I did in the past episode. Yeah, it's the only blue one. It's the only other blue one. But this one is a 1/1 with Exalted. You can tap a white and tap it and deal 1 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Or if it attacks, it just becomes a 2/2 if it's attacked alone. Court Archers. For 2 and a green, it's a 1/3 with Reach and Exalted. Doesn't have a tap ability. Sakelum Archers. For 2 and a green, it's a 2/3 elf archer. And for red and a white, so that makes this Naya. You can tap it, deal 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. That's odd. That's probably one of our first off-color ones that we've seen. Scattershot Archers. For a green, it's a 1/2. And you can tap, deal 1 damage to target to each creature with flying. That legacy weapon's about to get real good right about now. Stun Sniper. This is in the Alara block. I'm thinking. Let me know down in the comments below if you know what this one's from. For red and a white, it's a 1/1, and for 1 mana, you can tap it and deals 1 damage to target creature, and you tap that creature. That's actually pretty good. It kind of works its way into its name. It's a stun sniper. It's not a killer. Tanjiro Archer. For 2 and a green, it's a 1/2. Whenever it or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it deal damage to target creature with flying equal to the number of allies you control. That's a little off the beaten path, but it is what it is. Azuri's Archers for a single green. It's a 1/2 with reach, and whenever it blocks a creature with flying, it gets +3/+0. We've seen one, I think, where it gets bigger with more toughness than it does power. Arbalest Elite? Arbalest? I think that's how it's said. For 2 and 2 white, it's a 2/3, and for 2 and a white, you can tap it and deal 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. It doesn't untap during your next untap step. So this is like it did its damage, so now you have to wait for it to reload. This one will be a 2-parter. This is Daybreak Ranger, even though its backside doesn't have it's not an archer itself on the back. But for 2 and a green, it's a 2/2, and you can tap it, deal 2 damage to target creature with flying at the beginning of each upkeep. If no spells were cast, it transforms into Nightfall Predator. But for a red, it kind of does archer type deal, where you can tap it and it fights a creature. And then it flips if you cast 2 or more spells. Falconwrath Exterminator for 1 and a red. It's a 1/1 Vampire Archer. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a counter on it. And for 2 and a red, it deals damage to target creature equal to the number of counters on itself. It's pretty cool. Nalia's Disciple for 2 and 2 green. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to your devotion to green. Reverent Hunter for 2 and a green. It's a 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, put a number of counters on it equal to your devotion to green. So it gets huge later. Basara Tower Archer for 2 green. It's a 2/1 with hexproof and reach. It's not bad. Mardu Heartpiercer for 3 and a red. It's a 2/3, and with the raid ability, enters the battlefield. If you attack with a creature this turn, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Different. Longshot Squad for 3 and a green. It's a 3/3 with Outlast, so it can, for a 1 and a green, you can tap it, put a counter on this creature. Outlast only as a sorcery. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has reach. Which is, later on that could be pretty good. Sagu Archer for 4 and a green. It's a 2/5 with reach. And it has Morph, so you can flip it. It doesn't have a Megamorph ability, unfortunately. Orc Sure Shot for 3 and a black. It's a 4/2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 till end of turn. So it's kind of shooting an arrow at it as more creatures come in. Which, if you're playing a token spam build, it kind of gets pretty heavy. Archers of Quarcy? Some of these words really just throw me off balance. For 3 and a green, it's a 5/2 with Defender and Reach. Not bad. Airy Bowmasters for 2 and 2 green. It's a 3/4 with Reach and Megamorph, so it gets bigger. Aeonach Artillerist for 2 and a green. It's a 4/1 and it has Reach as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. That's pretty cool. Thornbow Archer for a single black. It's a 1/2. Whenever it attacks, each opponent who doesn't control an elf loses 1 life. Just furthermore solidifying the, I guess you could call it, the elf supremacy. Zada's Commando for 1 and a red. It's a 2/1 with First Strike, and it has Cohort. You can tap it, tap an untapped ally you control, and it deals 1 damage to target opponent. This is where they start getting a little whack. Silkweaver Elite for 2 and a green. It's a 2/2 with Reach and Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, draw a card. It's actually pretty cool. And we are all the way back to the beginning. But that is going to be it for today, everybody. I really appreciate everybody that likes, comments, and all of the subscribers. And I can't wait to see how much farther we can keep going. But that is going to be it for today, everybody. And I will see you guys next time in the graveyard.